Welcome back to Laughing in the Dark, the podcast where I hang out in haunted places with comedians. This is another fixture in our Sunday Minisode series where I talk to you about your ghost stories. For this Minisode, I spoke to Steven from Chicago, Illinois. Steven told me some great stories about living with a paranormal presence. Here's the call.
Hello?
Hi, is this Steven?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Steven. This is Sarah from Laughing in the Dark. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. So, I hear you're in Chicago, is that right?
Yes, I am. And where we think spring is 30 degrees.
Is it warm there?
No, it's about 30 degrees.
It's 30
It's really
degrees?
not nice. Yeah, God bless Chicago.
Life is too short to endure winter, in my opinion.
Agreed.
So I understand you have a ghost story for me?
I do. I have a ghost story. This was many, many years ago, more years ago than I care to say because it makes me sound old if I say how many years ago. But I had enough sense at one point to move to Los Angeles. And I was living there with a girlfriend. We were living in Van Nuys, where the old days you have the old movie studios out there, and they used to do the westerns and things like that. Mm-hmm. And we had basically your typical Los Angeles apartment, the ones that look like motels, where they have the pool in the middle and the two-level apartments. Mm-hmm. And we were on the first floor. Concrete floors with a rug pad and then the cheesy wall-to-wall carpeting you get in those apartments. And we had been there for a few months. And I guess it started when my girlfriend started saying that I was shutting off the faucets too hard. She couldn't turn them on. And, they just seemed almost locked. It wasn't me. I didn't have a lot of hidden anger issues or anything. It wasn't me. And I ended up, but it was very tight. So I told her, well, it's the water pressure, I guess. It's, the pressure must be high in the area right now for some reason. Right when that started, though, we would be sitting watching TV, and we would hear walking. Right in front of us from the living room, we would hear walking. Because of the mattress pads, you could hear that sort of...
Right.
And you could just follow the sound. It would walk across the living room, down the hall, and it would walk across the linoleum, and you would hear pop, 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 and it would go into the bedroom. Now, my first time we heard it, we were following it with our head, and we kind of looked at each other like, did you hear what I heard? Mm-hmm. So I just explained it away. I said what it was is that we were probably walking by, and with those little cheesy pads they have underneath the carpeting, it probably compressed it and it was just releasing, and it sounded like walking. So, I'm always being analytical and always being realistic. I didn't pay any attention. But every night at about 8 o'clock at night, we would hear the walking. And we couldn't explain it. It's concrete underneath those little cheesy pads, so there's no way it was like wood releasing or anything. It just sounded every day like walking at 8 p.m. And we used to tell our friends that every night we have the ghost come by. We would say it as a joke, we have the ghost come by and he walks through the apartment.
And it was always the same path.
Her sister came by once. I'm sorry?
It was always like the same path that it walked?
Yep. It was always from the living room straight into the bedroom. Never anything different.
Yeah. It
just walked that same path. Yeah, which never stopped at the bathroom. Apparently, never had to go or anything. But
yeah,
it just walked through our little place. And her sister came by one evening, and had her daughter with her. Her daughter was 2 years old or something like that. And the child was toddling, starting to walk across the room, and suddenly stops and looks up. And then that's when we heard the walking start. And she turned and followed it with her eyes. And we were kind of laughing, like, what is she seeing?
Oh, my God, yeah.
What is she seeing that we are not able to see? But she followed the walking with her eyes. And, her sister heard the walking, too. And the two got into jokes about, oh, we've got a ghost. But me, at that point, we're still laughing it up. We got a ghost. Yeah, haha. Isn't this funny? Our home is haunted. And I think we were laughing because we still just weren't taking it seriously. We were still saying it was just a mattress pad that's releasing, and it's probably an old, dirty mattress pad. Carpet pad underneath it that is releasing. Well, without going into all the details, one night we were in bed a little earlier, around 8 o'clock, and we heard the walking from the living room walk. And this time, being in the bedroom, we heard that it walked right to the foot of our bed, and it would stop. And I don't know why it would stop right there, but it stopped right at the foot of our bed, which was a little crazy because we could hear it start in the living room, and we were just waiting. Here it comes. And it just walked and stopped right there. And again, we're still saying carpet pad. The carpet pad is releasing. Carpet pad. Well, one night, it got a little stranger. We were in bed, and my girlfriend, who, knocked out really quick, she could put her head down and go right to sleep.
Oh, lucky.
She's laying next to me asleep, and I'm about to fall into sleep. And I noticed she was pulling on the sheet. So I told her, I didn't say anything. I started pulling back, and she kept pulling. And she finally said, "Stop pulling." And that's when I noticed that it wasn't going to her side or my side. It was actually pulling from the bottom.
Oh.
And so I pulled on the sheet, and it yanked out of my hand, pulled completely off of us onto the floor.
Whoa.
And, yeah, that woke her up. She sat up and she looked. And I always loved this. I said the dumbest thing I possibly have said in my entire life. We crawled to the end of the bed and we looked off, and there was nothing there. Just the sheet had been pulled off. And I said, maybe the cat jumped on the bed. My girlfriend reminded me we didn't have a cat.
Oh, no.
So
what?
I was just desperately trying to explain what that was that yanked it off. And we put the sheet back up, and nothing happened that night. Again, every night we still heard the walking. We didn't get the sheet pulling again. A couple of nights later, we're in bed, and I look over at my girlfriend, and it looked like she was staring back at me. But she was laying on her side, and this head was staring right at me. She couldn't move her neck like that. She would have broken her neck trying to twist her head like that.
Ew, so
and that's when I noticed the face looked very, very bland. There were places for eyes and a nose and a mouth, but nothing specific.
But it was your girlfriend's face.
Pardon?
But it was your girlfriend's face.
No, actually, it wasn't. I just assumed I was half asleep. But no, it was just like a bland face, almost like a childlike face.
On the back of your girlfriend's head?
Well, over her shoulder. It was like it was standing next to the bed, looking over her shoulder.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I thought, at first I thought she was sitting up, and I'm like, no, she's not. She's laying down, and this face is standing there.
Yeah.
Now, people always say something vanished. Vanish always sounds like it'll puff of smoke or something like that. This thing vanished, but it was like I was looking at it, and then it wasn't there.
Yeah.
And it sounds simple, but it was a weird kind of feel because I clearly was looking at it, and it was just staring blankly ahead, and then all of a sudden it just wasn't there.
So it seemed like it didn't even see you. It was staring blankly forward and just staring.
Right. Almost like it was looking over my shoulder.
Oh,
But it was just kind of staring, and it's a very, very bland, blank face. I couldn't tell you what it looked like. It looked a little bluish, but I couldn't tell you what it, there was nothing distinctive. I couldn't tell you eye color or anything like that. It was just blank-looking, bluish face, looking a little past my shoulder, and then it just wasn't there. And anyway, we kept having the walking every night. It lasted for about a month. And then at the end of the month, no more walking. You could turn the faucets on, because that was still something was ongoing. Every night every day you couldn't turn on the faucets. Faucets were fine. No more walking, no appearances, no one yanking at the sheets.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up with a punchline to all of this. By this being in Los Angeles, every 20 feet somebody's shooting a movie or a TV show or something. And we went out and we saw in the neighborhood some people had set up a lot of trucks, and there was a PA standing there on the corner. So we just asked them what they were shooting. And the show was Unsolved Mysteries, and they said they were shooting in the area because it's a ghost story, and this area is known to have a lot of ghosts. So, yeah.
Wait,
so we looked like a couple
it?
of idiots. In Van Nuys off of Cahuenga or something, or Sherman Oaks or something.
I'll have to look at that for future
and it was funny
episodes.
because, yeah, there you go, yeah. And like I said, we were hopping up and down. Oh, we had to go, and they're just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
we
like,
just looked like a couple of
that's
weirdos.
why we're here.
Right, and these weirdos are hopping around,
Yeah.
But that's my ghost story.
Wow. So, and then it sounds like that whole area seems to have a lot of activity then.
I guess so, and like I was saying, I'm from Chicago. She was a native Los Angelian, and she had never heard anything about ghosts in Van Nuys or anything like that.
Yeah, obviously there's a ton of haunted places in Chicago as well.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Luckily, I have not encountered any of that, and because I'm a person who does not believe in ghosts, and I still don't.
Oh.
But I always remember that old saying that I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm afraid of them, and I guess that kind of describes me.
So you still don't believe in ghosts, even though you had this experience?
Yeah, I don't. I keep trying to come up with some explanation that would make sense. Like, I keep talking about the carpet pad. Maybe that was it. Why it would release in footsteps and release on the linoleum, don't ask me. I don't know, but I still try to come up with excuses as to what was going on.
But, you obviously, some part of you believes it was a ghost. You're talking to me about it.
Right, and only because I cannot come up with any other explanation, especially with the sheet being yanked off. We didn't have a lot of furniture. We didn't have a lot. We just had a sheet on us, and there was nothing heavy at the end of the bed that could have slid off and pulled the sheet. And I felt it when it pulled back. I pulled it, and it yanked hard enough. I'm 6 foot tall and reasonably a strong man, and
yeah.
I pulled the sheet, and it yanked it out of my hand.
That's what I was going to say. Like, you felt the resistance of something else pulling against you. And then even seeing a face. But I guess you can make up, I was tired and I was half dreaming or something.
Yeah, and I tried that, but then I have to remember I was starting to fall asleep. But at the same time, when I saw the face, trust me, I woke up.
Yeah.
And I had a full couple of seconds where after really knowing that I was awake, I still saw it before it vanished. So it wasn't like I woke up and it was gone. I had a couple of seconds to actually really see that face looking there.
Process
enough
what
that
you're looking at. Yeah.
Yeah, enough that I was no longer saying, is that my girlfriend? No, I'm saying, oh my God, this is a face. It's looking at me. And then it just went away.
Thanks so much for your call, Stephen. It was great talking with you. Do you have a ghost story that you want to tell on Laughing in the Dark? Email us at litdarkpodcast@gmail.com or write to us in our Contact Us form on our website, litdarkpodcast.com. We may want to feature you on the show. Thanks so much for listening.
Studios.